I'm going to show you how to make a fire the manly way, with a fire still. Let's crack on. There are 3 core components to a fire: tinder, kindling and fuel wood. Tinder is very combustible material that will ignite upon catching a spark. That little speck of cotton you see is my tinder for today. Some examples of other materials that could be used for tinder is pine resin, dry lint, dead moss and dandelion seed heads. Kindling is easy burning materials such as dried out long grass, dead leaves and thin strips of bark. And lastly there's fuel wood. Fuel to keep the fire going. Twigs and small branches are ideal. Increase the size of your fuel wood as your fire gets larger. Fuel wood must be dry, dead wood for it to be useful. You can't use living green sticks to make a fire as they won't burn. A good indication of whether a stick is suitable for a fire or not is if it makes a loud cracking sound when you step on it. If it does crack, then it's usually good to go. Here's a quick look at the materials I'll be using today. I have my cotton tinder, my dried leaves and debris as kindling, and bits of fuel wood gradually increasing in size. Now lay your tinder snugly into your kindling bundle and throw some sparks at it. Simple, right? During these beginning stages, the fire is very volatile and could easily extinguish if you don't pay close attention to it. If you feel your fire is dying down, then blow on it. Blow at the bottom of the fire hard so that the air spreads up and around. This should help it reignite back into flames. Once your kindling is engulfed in flames, then start adding your fuel wood. Rest them on the outside of the fire, leaning upwards so it resembles an Indian teepee. Don't just throw them on. Be very careful. Place them down delicately. Don't smother the fire. If you want to add more dried debris to the fire, then do so very carefully. Dangle it over the fire until most of it has ignited, then lay it down. Don't just dump it on there, as that will most likely smother and extinguish your fire, and that's bad times. As long as you take good care of your fire, be patient and pay very close attention to it, then you should have a fire that lasts roughly 15 minutes using the amount of materials that I used. It's a good idea to collect the materials beforehand so you don't have to keep running off and getting more firewood if your fire starts to die down. And that's about it. If the ground is incredibly damp, then I would advise building a raised platform out of logs. Gather some large logs, as dry as you can find them, lay them down and build your fire upon that platform. It keeps your fire away from the damp and also provides a source of slow burning fuel wood later down the line. Also, if you're having trouble finding dry tinder, then you can use a pencil sharpener to shave off the inner strips of wood off of twigs. This should be dry enough to get a decent fire going once you have a decently sized bundle. If you come across any dried grass or dead leaf bundles, then it's a wise idea to pick up a bunch, throw it in your kit so you can use it later on down the line, because you never know when Mother Nature's going to chuck it down and make everything wet. Another tip: birch bark is very flammable, so serves as an incredibly effective source of fuel, as its bark contains a resinous oil that burns like a candle. Birch bark also tends to repel water and is therefore helpful in starting fires in rainy weather. Learn to recognise this tree. It's a pretty damn good tree. And don't be disheartened when you can't get a fire going the first time. It's a skill that takes a lot of practice. It's not as easy as it looks. I hope you found this video informative. Thanks for watching.